Okay, so on this is the short answer review for your exam, the Unit 8 exam. Your calculator will do almost everything for you. I said almost. Okay, it will do almost everything for you. A couple things that you need to pay close attention to. Number one, this thing right here. Okay, that's rad. Okay, so you could leave it there. It's fine. Radian's okay. Degrees okay. But just know what you're looking for if you have something like that. Like the CIS, when you're trying to find the angle, if it's in degrees, right, you need to have the degrees. If it says radian, you need to have radian, right? Okay. So, that's important to know. So, I'm going to go through and show you guys how to double check to make sure it's in the right mode. So, I'm going to scratch pad. So, I'm going to clear my scratch pad, Doc B. So, right here, I'm going to go to my documents, settings, and then document settings. What's the one thing I have to double check on for this? Rectangular, right? I got a real or complex, right? Real or complex, so it has to be rectangular. That's what you're checking here. You have to check that, make sure it's all right. Once that is actually in the right thing, what do I do?
Make default.
Make default. There we go.
So it has to be a radian to rectangular?
Right now we're having radian. Okay? I'm going to leave it a radian until I need it one way or the other. Okay? So I'm going to start with that right now. Alright, so let's take a look at my first problem. Okay, find the product, write the answer in standard form. What does product mean? Multiplication, right? So I'm going to start by, let me start with this. Okay, so this problem right here, so I'm going to bring this down because I want it a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is a multiplication. So if I'm multiplying binomials, what was that special thing that we said we have to do?
Fail.
Fail it. So let's go through and fail it. So right here, rad 3 times rad 3 is rad
9.
Rad 9. What is the square root of 9? 3. So we're going to have 3 here. Okay, across. It's going to give me negative 6i rad 3. Next one is going to be? Inner. Do the inner. That's going to give me what? Plus 5i rad 3. And last. That's going to give me, let me see, negative 30i squared.
Wait, the last one was where? It was.
What do you mean? Last is the last two right here.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Isn't it I squared just like negative 1?
Yeah, it's going to get that, but I haven't made that far yet. Okay? Because I still have this I on the outside, right? I got to bring it down. That was from up front.
Oh, cute little feet.
Okay? So once I get all this inside, I'm going to distribute an I also. Okay, so combine like terms. So I'm going to have here, and I know that this one right here, the I squared, like he said, I squared is negative 1. So I have a negative 30, which is now going to become positive 30 and a positive 3. So it's 33. So I'm going to bring down my I. Combine those together, so it's a negative 6 and a positive 5. They have the same variables, right? So it's going to be a negative 1i rad 3, right? Yes, and I keep bringing down that I. So what do I do with that I now? Distribute it. So if I distribute this now, I'm going to get 33i. And then this one right here is going to give me an I squared, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that I squared is going to take this minus into a positive. So it's a plus rad 3. But now, is that in the right form? No. Standard form is always going to be A plus BI, right? It's always A plus BI. So that means that the I has to come second. So now this one, my final answer is going to be rad 3 plus 33i. There we go. Put a rectangle around it because this is the rectangular form. Standard form, yes. Yes. Go. Questions? Are we okay here?
Wait, what'd you say again? That
As
the
a
I
whole.
and then the negative 30 I squared turns into a positive, right?
Okay, so this one right here, right?
Yeah.
You know I squared is what? Negative 1, right?
Yeah, negative 1.
Because we know that I is rad negative 1, right?
Yeah.
But if I square that, the radical goes away, so you're left with just negative 1, right?
Okay.
So that's why this 30, this negative 30 becomes a positive 30 now.
Okay.
It changes that sign.
Wait,
Just making a note.
when it goes from like rad 3 times rad 3, is that the same reason why it just turns into 3 and then?
Yeah, it's going to be the same thing. But we multiply the inside, it's rad 9, and rad 9 is just going to be 3. That's where we get that also. Or you could just say